The reason why questions and rhetoric in the Greek New Testament is important today is because it allows us to interpret sections of scripture that have not always been handled the best in times past. And I say that because when we take a question that we see in the New Testament and we gloss over it, or we treat it just as a statement, or we mine it for theological truth as a statement, then we've kind of missed the goal of that question. We missed the importance of it for interpreting the Bible. So I think a big plus of it would be is that it allows us to interpret Scripture better. I think the other thing is too is that when we read the Bible and when we preach and teach and talk about Scripture in a kind of propositional only way, meaning everything's a statement, everything's a theological truth, it doesn't allow Scripture to come alive. A lot of the persuasive and rhetorical pushes in the Bible come from the questions, and they're in there to encourage us to think and be challenged and to dig deeper and to be pushed towards what the authors are trying to push us towards. And so being able to use those as questions effectively in our teaching and preaching and scholarly work and allows the Bible to be much more three-dimensional rather than two-dimensional. I think that the biggest value of my book for continuing education for students who maybe get it in seminary and then use it throughout their careers is the fact that whenever you are constantly teaching or preaching from the Bible, you're always going to encounter questions. They're one of those discourse features that is throughout the entire New Testament. So whenever you encounter a question, there will be lots of references in the book that they can use to be able to exegete and expound those questions better and more effectively. It's not like a book that only deals with one author of the New Testament or one book of the New Testament. Rather, it deals with a discourse function that's going on throughout the entire New Testament. I can see pastors using my book as a ready resource for accessing the Greek when it deals with questions. Since there are about 1,000 questions in the Greek New Testament, it's going to come up pretty regularly. And a lot of times pastors don't have a lot of time to be able to do the full Greek exegesis each week for every message that they do from the New Testament. But one thing they can do is when they encounter a question in the Greek or in the New Testament as they are working through that passage, they can simply check out my book and see how that question interacts with the rest of the discourse. And it will give them an opportunity to see how the logic of that question works, and so they can use that in their teaching or their lesson preparation.